Today we are having a look at construction industry in SA 2026, and the figures below are approximate. You know, construction contribute about 3% of the GDP, depending on the year. Total construction expenditure in SA is about 600 billion, right? And this figure changes depending on the government programs. Government spend about 9% of GDP, right, on construction, varies with the year, and the private sector spend approximately 160 billion on construction each year. I mean, this based from the latest figure for last year. The biggest clients or the biggest spenders in the construction is Eskom, that spends on transmission. It spends on solar project. It spends on station and transmission lines as well, and sub power stations. Transnet is one of the biggest spenders on construction, that spends money on rail, the ports, and the other logistics. Sandra, which is the biggest spender actually on roads. These contribute on the biggest spenders on construction, roads, highways. And then we go to passenger rail agents in SA, also one of the biggest spender. And then we've got municipalities that spend on housing, sewer pipes, and other things. Now, the private sector spend quite a lot. The biggest spender usually is the mining, it's the property sector, right? And they spend on residential, office parks, and energy renewables. And mining spend on a lot of things on their sides. Now, the interesting part is that out of all this money that is spent, only 20% of that money goes to the listed companies. 80% goes to private contractors. That usually takes about 40% of the chunk, which is one of the sectors whereby money goes to small companies, right? Some of the money goes to private owned companies, Chinese state-backed contractors. Some of the money goes to many different government departments. They build for themselves, some municipalities and the likes. But this is why the sector actually makes more jobs, because of these small subcontractors that get money from government. Now, these are the biggest listed contracting companies on JSE. Number one is WBHO with a revenue of 28.5 billion and market cap of 12.3 billion. Followed by Rubix Group with a revenue of 22 billion and market cap of 9.7 billion. Followed by Stefano Stock Holdings with 7.66 revenue, 7.6 billion, and market cap of 1.2 billion. This is a total evaluation. Avenger with a revenue of 2.6 billion, market cap of 584 million. Cargo M3, focus on residential, 896 million revenue, market cap of 485 million. This is a penny stock. Ballowin, residential as well, but it does other things. 2.693 billion revenue, market cap of 1.86 billion. As you can see, that the total revenue here is not even more than 70 billion, right, out of all the expenditure that is being done, right? So, but these, if you want to buy construction companies, you have to check on this. I'll do another part 2 on these listed construction companies, and they are very, very much dependent on many factors on the economy. Thank you.